Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure joining you. I'm actually on my way to Medyka now. As you can see, I'm in a bus, and it's about 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours journey from Warsaw to Medyka. And I left Warsaw about past 12 this afternoon. So I'm still on the road. I'm still on the road. I'm still like 4 hours away from Medyka Border. This is about 5 to 6 hours. So I'm still on the road. I'm in the bus.
What is the situation at the moment in Warsaw, where you were before embarking on this journey, with Nigerians who have been able to make it across the border from Ukraine into Poland?
Right, I didn't get the last question, but if I get to very well, you're asking about the situations with Nigerians that are crossing the border. Yes, they keep crossing the border every day. 2 days ago, some arrived Poland, and they were received by the Nigerian embassy in Poland, and some even arrived today. They're being processed to be put in a hotel. So they keep coming in, but the process has been very tedious. It's been very tough for Nigerians crossing the border. They faced a lot of challenges crossing the border. Some have had to walk 3 days. Some have had to walk 48 hours, no food, no water, in a freezing weather, trying to get to the border. And when they finally make it to the border, either the Medyka border or any other border into Poland, and they face another challenge. The first challenge will be that they will have to wait for the women and children to cross. They will have to wait for Ukrainians and other Europeans to cross before they consider Africans to cross. Many have said this is racism. We understand this is what situation. We understand that women and children first, but why do you give priority to Ukrainian boys, Ukrainian men? Why do you give priority to other European citizens? And you say until they cross, those of you from Africa will not cross the border. It's been some tough time for them. Eventually, they have always been able to cross the border to Poland after a very long time. But it's been a very tedious journey. And what we're trying to do now is to actually, I was at one of the borders 2 days ago, so I'm going to Medyka now to really capture the situation, and where possible and it is safe, we'll see if we can enter Ukraine and possibly get to what is going on there.
Now, what is the explanation for the discriminatory treatment given to blacks, to Africans generally? Now, some explanation have been that most of the Africans and most of the Nigerians attempting to cross do not have documents, do not have regular traveling documents to make this crossover from Ukraine into Poland or into Romania or into Hungary or any of the other countries. Whereas these other persons from Europe belong to the European Union, and so they have an advantage. Is that the case, or is there an actual instance of discrimination against Africans?
I'm trying to get the audio, but is filtering in a bit. You're talking about the undocumented immigrants. And well, so we have 2 types of people here. We have the strictly undocumented immigrants trying to cross the border. These undocumented immigrants are immigrants who do not have passports, who probably have overstayed and are trying to make a living in Ukraine. And we have students in Ukraine, Nigerian students or African students in Ukraine, who because of the pressure of the war, left their passport and everything behind. They couldn't wait to pick their passport because the situation, right, really is students are leaving without picking anything. So we have those that have actually are really illegal, and we have students who do not have passport. A number of these students have been able to cross over to Poland, and the Nigerian mission in Poland is trying to process their passport for them. But it is a big challenge once you get to the border and you say you have no passport. But ideally, under international convention, this is a war situation. The issue of citizenship, the issue of either you have passport or you don't have passport should not occur because we are in a war situation. So under international convention, such requirements are broken down. Such requirements are not followed strictly because we are in a war situation. The purpose, the intention of the international convention is to get everybody to safety, to get everybody through the humanitarian corridor to where they are safe, far away from the war. So under international convention, the identity of people that are fleeing from war does not really count. But it does appear to us that in Ukraine, they face some challenges. They will eventually cross. Most of them have eventually crossed, for those that have insisted. But the issue of status, either legality or illegal, documented or undocumented status, does not really count under international law, as we assume. And so it's not really been an issue. The general level of allowing them to cross or not cross is at the instance of the Ukrainian officials that are mounting the border. At the Polish end, or at the Hungarian end, or at the Romania end, there's no serious problem. The main problem is at the Ukrainian end. The Ukrainian officials are making it difficult for people that are fleeing the war, that are not Ukrainian, especially those from Africa, to cross with some ease. And I think this has to do with bilateral relationship and discussion between the the embassies at for instance, let's take now the relationship between the Nigerian embassy in Poland and the Ukrainian embassy in Poland. The embassy in Poland could actually reach out. The Nigerian embassy in Poland could actually reach out to the Ukrainian embassy in Poland to say, look, as nationals are at the border and your people are giving them problems. Under international convention, we are in a wartime. They should have access to cross to Poland without any problem, as long as Poland is willing and ready to receive them. So it's a matter of communication, bilateral diplomatic communication between these two countries. And the last time I spoke with the Nigerian ambassador to Poland, he said to me, that was yesterday, that the Nigerian Foreign Ministry Minister of Foreign Affairs is talking with his counterparts in Ukraine, and then they are working out modalities to ensure easy access of Nigerians that are trying to cross the border. But the issue of documentation in wartime does not really occur here. But we are having a situation where the other side, the Ukrainian officials, are making things a little bit hard for the people that are trying to cross.
All right, Tunde, thank you so much. We wish you a safe trip to the Medyka border. But just before you go, do we have an idea of how many Nigerians have successfully crossed from Ukraine into Poland at this point in time?
Mark, you have actually asked a very touchy question there. I tell you, several numbers have been given by the Nigerian government. I've heard people say 2,700 and something, so number have been given. But I tell you, no one has successfully given us any number of people that have been successfully evacuated. I tried unsuccessfully to confirm from the ambassador here to say, look, tell me how many people have been evacuated, but no specific number is coming up. Look, until on Friday, the aircraft that left Abuja, that left Warsaw on Friday, which I think is the only aircraft that has gone so far from Poland, will only take, I think, about 180, only has about 180 capacity to carry people. So if you say 300 and something people came to Nigeria, how did they come to Nigeria when the aircraft will take about 180 or 183? Ask Airpeace, what is the seating capacity of the aircraft that went to Poland? It's the only aircraft that has come to Poland. And then I keep hearing people say there are 300 and 400 and something people that have crossed. How? Nobody is able to give us specific number. We can't get any specific number of people that have actually come to Nigeria. I've tried to make... No, now, this is a problem, Mark. Now, I asked from reliable source, and they said to me, the problem they're having now is the figure being given by the Ukrainian at the Ukrainian side, that the Ukrainian officials are saying 2,000 Nigerians have been allowed to cross the Ukrainian border to Poland. And Nigerian embassy in Poland is saying, look, we do not have evidence that 2,000 Nigerians have crossed the border. How did you get 2,000 Nigerians that have crossed the border? So there is this confusion, as conflicting number as to people from the Ukrainian side. They are either inflating the figure. They say, look, we have allowed 2,000 Nigerians to cross the border, and the Nigerian side in Poland say, we have not received 2,000 Nigerians. Can we have full number? And then here in Poland, they were saying how many people have been hosted. Now let's break this down. The Nigerian embassy in Poland has done very well. It has been awesome. It has done absolutely. It has been able to redeem the image of Nigeria here in Poland by hosting these students, hosting those that are fleeing the war, putting them in very good hotels, giving them food, breakfast and dinner. So the Nigerian embassy in Poland has done very, I give it to them. But where we are, many people are you hosting? You cannot give me specific number of people that you are hosting on a daily basis in a hotel. You cannot give me specific number of people that you're putting on the aircraft. And but back home in Nigeria, the Nigerian government keeps saying 500 people, 700 people, 700 people. Where do these numbers come from?